To the damage pre-port on, oh God, it's a Friday, isn't it? It is a Friday. That means two things. First of all, it means we will be throwing away the garbage people of the week. But you're probably wondering, wait, who's we? Isn't Brett off helping to get Unbossed ready to launch? Well, he in fact is. And so we don't have him for a little bit. But this week we have Ben Glebe, who's going to be throwing away Garbage Person of the Week. Oh, all of you, by the way, can go vote on the community tab of our YouTube page, which you're on right now if you're watching this. I believe over 50,000 people already have voted for the Community Garbage Person of the Week, so would love to see your votes. Joseph, thank you for being a member. Love you being here. My watch might, in fact, be ahead. We somehow just produced the show much faster than normal. I don't know how that worked. It's a great rundown. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We got a lot of great stories here as well. But before we launch into that, and hit the like button if you haven't already. Hey, Mimani, how's it going? Elizabeth, what's up? Hey, Grizzly. Let's jump through the numbers. We have, in fact, I can announce, maybe you already knew this. I can't simply, assume that you didn't already know this, but I don't think many people are talking about this or thinking about this. Cases have, in fact, fallen below 50,000. We have been approaching that over the past 2 weeks or so. I mean, it's been gradually going down for some time, but sometimes it has been a glacial fall. But we have now, in fact, dropped below 50,000. Deaths just on the cusp of getting below 400. Those hospitalization numbers are significantly lower. I remember not long ago when they were in the 40,000s and when the number of people in ICUs, I believe, was over 10,000. So those numbers are looking better. The gas price numbers are stagnant. They've gone up by 0.1 cents. So not really expecting a lot of progress on that. Am I in slow-mo? Why am I in slow-mo? Can you get a large dumps? Well, there's large dumps of books coming soon. Okay. Zeets, how's it going? Welcome. Yes, we have a lot that we're going to talk about. May Money, I'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. I want to lead off with some news. So let's see. I don't know if you saw these numbers. CBO report on income inequality, wealth inequality. This is fucking crazy. 1% of the country, the richest 1% of the country, now owns over 1/3 of all of the wealth. So let's compare. Families in the top 10% and the top 1% saw their share of wealth rise over the last few decades. In 2019, families in the top 10% held 72% of total wealth. Families in the top 1% held more than 1/3. Families in the bottom half held only 2% of total wealth. That doesn't mean, by the way, that they're not making any money, but their accrued wealth is effectively non-existent. It is a tiny, tiny fraction, not only of all of the wealth in the country, obviously, but all of the wealth just owned by a handful of the richest people. And how fucking crazy is that? And how do you get to this? You get to this with corruption, obviously. Taking the money they already have to buy off politicians, to get the laws that they want, to stop the laws that they don't. There's just, I want to show you this little instance of this. So, DeSantis spokesperson had attacked OAN as being fake news. Okay, he had tweeted about it. So there were big donations that were given by the head of OAN. He went back and deleted the tweets. So hold up a second. Are they fake news or are they not fake news? Whether they're a real news source or not obviously does not hinge on whether they've fucking given you money, right? So what is fake? Not the news. What's fake is you, spokesperson for Ron DeSantis, that your entire view about whether an entire news network's outlook is legitimate or not based on whether they handed over fucking money. But while he is fake in that sense, I mean, he gets it. That's what this entire thing is about. Have you handed over enough money, a large enough amount of money, recently enough? If you do that, then I'll do whatever the fuck you want. I'll delete my tweets. I'll tweet out something new. I don't fucking care. I don't believe anything. I have no actual values. I don't stand for anything. I just would really like the money that you have to be money that me and the people I work for have. That's how you end up with this sort of distribution of wealth. And so, you know, you'll be shocked to find out that Bernie Sanders is focusing on this, making sure that hopefully people see this. Most people are just going to ignore it. Oh, thank you for the comment, Jay Knight. Yes, so this is one of the indisputable t-shirts available at Shop TYT. Honestly, how awesome is that cartoon Rashad Richey? Why is he not on a bunch more graphics and shirts and stuff like that? It is such a great... And by the way, can I please be... I mean, I know I don't have as distinct a, facial feature as the mustache there, but I just love it. What do you mean my camera's not... I'm looking at the image of me right now, and it is not blurry. No, I can see the image. It's not blurry, so apologies. Anyway, a little bit of light news. It is a Friday after all. Science shows that dogs can detect if people are stressed. They did this big test, and they were actually shockingly accurate in figuring that out. This is news to people who do not have dogs. If you have dogs, then you already know this. You've had the experience of being sad or having a bad day or something, and your dogs definitely know. They definitely know. Hold on a second. John doesn't know his 90s games. I know Dr. Mario. I'm a millennial, but a older one. I played those games. I know all games, okay? Anyway. Yes, I played Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario is sweet. Okay, don't have time for that. Oh, this is a fun one, everyone. Okay, so let's see. So first of all, Samuel Alito is talking about how you need to understand that him being Catholic, very important to him, specifically because it gives him an attachment to the real world, and so he understands what effect the decisions he has will have on real people because he's a Catholic. Of course, he also is fucking fine with Roe v. Wade being destroyed. So what value was that attachment to the effect it has on real people? I guess it has an effect on real corrupt politicians that want conservatives to vote for them purely based on culture war bullshit, knowing that, or to avoid them coming to the dark realization that they're voting directly against their own economic interests, that they're consigning themselves to bankruptcy and inability to retire. Didn't do much good for what you implied it did. But, wait a second, wait, oh no. Okay, hold on. We have to address a more important thing even than that. Oh, here it is. I'm going to turn to that in 1 second. Have you checked out one D&D test play? Not really. I play D&D. I'm going to be completely honest. I like playing role-playing games. I'm not that into D&D as a system. Maybe the new one will be good. Anyway, here is an issue with Alito that I am going to take. So, Alito says that questioning the legitimacy of the Supreme Court crosses an important line. It goes without saying that everyone is free to express disagreement with our decisions and to criticize our reasoning as they see fit, but saying or implying that the court is becoming an illegitimate institution or questioning our integrity crosses an important line. And I agree. I do think that that line has been crossed, and we are now firmly on the other side of that line. And now that all bets are off, I'm free to say, Samuel Alito, fuck you. Go fuck yourself and the corrupt fucking court that you sit on. Your black robes might obscure your waistline. They do not obscure the fact that this is an entirely non-representative body. Many of you have no fucking qualifications to be on there. You're criminals yourselves. You know that the people don't agree with any of the bullshit that you're doing. Fuck you. Crosses an important line. How about this? Stripping away people's bodily autonomy. That crosses a fucking line. Allowing an absolute plague of weapons of war to continue to take so many people's lives every day. That should cross a fucking line. A little bit more important than me expressing my opinion about what you assholes are doing. How about the fact that you sit on the court with a guy I've incredibly alleged to have assaulted a number of different women. And when he was challenged on that, not only did he get indignant, the asshole, but they launched a nationwide campaign to destroy the reputation of the person who was courageous enough to actually point it out, knowing that that was going to happen to them. That crossed a fucking line a few years ago. I suppose I'm still mad about it. Are you still mad about it? Fuck you, Samuel Alito. The court has been packed, the vast majority of which by people who are put on the court by presidents who didn't win the popular vote. They know that the people don't support this shit. They know what the polls say. They continue to deliver on their ideological objectives that they specifically lied about during their nominating hearings, okay? If that doesn't make them illegitimate, then I don't know what does. Actually, I do. Another thing that might make them illegitimate is the fact that one of their freaking wives is off conspiring with insurrectionists, and we're not supposed to have any question about that. They routinely don't recuse themselves from cases where they have direct or, in some cases, indirect, mainly direct financial attachments, obvious conflicts of interest, and yet they still rule on those. If you remember anything, remember this. They are just fucking men and a couple of women. Generally not women because America, but men and women. They are not angels. They are not constructs of artificial judicial intelligence. They are not free of sin or bias or ideology or partisanship or corruption. They're just regular people and not seemingly particularly impressive people, okay? Samuel Alito, the best advice I could give to Samuel Alito is, considering how you got onto the court, how your governing majority took over the court, how about you keep your head down, shut the fuck up, and maybe you won't get impeached, maybe the court won't get packed. But keep drawing our attention to you, and people are going to remember all the shit I've been citing here. And there should be a reckoning on the Supreme Court. A nonviolent reckoning, but there should be a fucking reckoning on the Supreme Court. Fucking Samuel Alito. I don't despise him as much as a Kavanaugh, perhaps. Amy Coney Barrett seems even more solely led by her uncritical acceptance of ancient religious dogma, often mistranslated. He still fucking sucks, though. Anyway, I think there was a comment. Hold on. Real House Cats says, so groovy in this beautiful profanity-laced truth-bomb delete it. Well, thank you for your super chat and your support. I do appreciate that. No, I'm feeling good. I've only had 2 coffees. Crazy K-Dog says, I thumbs down every vid from TDR. Everybody has to have a hobby, I guess. I play board games. I occasionally write fantasy and sci-fi. You spend your time going on the channels of people you supposedly dislike and doing a completely pointless down. Do you think it matters? It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, you can do whatever you want. No, but see, Crazy Dog, you say they censor my comments. We don't censor your comments. That's why I can see that comment. You see? I can mock your comment. That's not the same thing as censoring it. It might lead to you crying in the same way, but it's not the same thing, just to be clear. No, see, I can see that comment too, Crazy, because we're not censoring your comments. I'm making fun of you, as I'm sure most of the people in this room will soon be doing. But no, see, I can see that comment too. You see, that's the opposite of censorship. Oh, by the way, if I was to block you, that wouldn't be fucking censorship because I'm not the government. I'm a fucking regular person. This is a private enterprise. This is not the DOJ, okay? I haven't, but I could. And if I did, that would not be censorship. You have no fucking right to free speech in this forum. It's a privilege that you have. That's what you have. I haven't taken it away. Nobody's taken it away. But if we did, it wouldn't be censorship either. You know what would be censorship? Banning fucking thousands of books. That would be censorship. How about that? Take issue with the government doing that all over the country. Oh, how about the new ideological tests being placed on universities and colleges in Florida by the government? That is censorship because it's the government doing it. And I would challenge you. I think you could get it done before 9 even hits. Read the First Amendment, okay? Have an actual understanding of what the First Amendment means. Don't just take for granted what fucking Tucker Carlson believes you about, tells you about it. Anyway, Miss Donna, thank you for your super chat. Okay, well, we are getting really close to the end of our time. I'm just going to really mention, look, I watch Amazon Prime. I don't know about this bedside device that tracks sleeping patterns. It says it doesn't have a camera. It says it doesn't have a microphone. It still seems pretty suspicious that it's watching you while you sleep. I don't know. Also, I'm sure we'll be talking about this on the Young Turks later on. So Putin is now saying that those sham elections that happened in a number of different regions of Ukraine make it now effectively part of Russia. I would like to counter that by saying, no, it fucking doesn't. And here's the fun thing. His statement and my statement have equal weight legally, morally. Nobody actually gives a fuck what we say. He's just making it up. I'm just saying the opposite. Anyway, let's turn in a second to... let's turn to this because we got the watch list coming up soon. So Maggie Haberman's book is coming out soon. Don't buy it. You don't need to. I've already revealed most of the most interesting parts, and the rest you can find out online. Don't buy it. But anyway, it is coming out, and it reveals a lot of crazy shit about Donald Trump. Now, the easiest thing to do, if you didn't want to... Is it Bette Midler, this thing? I forget who exactly it is that did this. For Trump would be, just let it go by, okay? And in a month, we won't even remember that it came out. And we'll just be moving on with our lives. Oh, and you can, in the meantime, you can console yourself to the fact that we already know a million crazy fucking things about you. Does it really matter if we know more? But instead, here is how he responded. By the way, hit the like button in this last minute if you haven't already. Here we go again. Another fake book is out. Fake with a capital F. This one supposedly very boring and stale. Who's saying that? I mean, first of all, I don't care. It probably is. But he's just making it up. By self-appointed head case, failing unfunded liability. New York Times writer Maggie Haberman. And look, at least on there, I need to pause and say that he does have a point. I remember when Maggie Haberman self-appointed as a head case. Anyway, in it she tells many made-up stories with zero fact-checking or confirmation by anyone who would know, like me. I would know, but I didn't tell her. In one case, she lies about me wanting to fire my daughter Ivanka and Jared. Wrong. Pure fiction. Never even crossed my mind. Just have to fight troublemaking creeps like Maggie and all the rest. Look, if you want to, there are a lot of terms you can throw at Maggie Haberman. I have. That she's a creep specifically? Again, does everything have to be projection from these people? If anyone's a fucking creep, it's the grab him by the pussy guy. Come on. How many creepy fucking things is he... No, honestly, declaring Donald Trump to be a creep is really giving him a pass on a lot of worse designations, considering all of what he's been alleged to have done. But we'll start with creep. For Maggie, though, I mean, you could say that she's corrupt, that her, attachment to journalistic ethics is, has nothing to do with an obligation to the people and more to her own career and maybe the outlet she's working for. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. But anyway, considering Donald Trump's record, what we know about his attachment to telling the truth, I would consider the thing about Ivanka and Jared to be confirmed in this. I mean, I don't know what other takeaway we're supposed to have from that. Is every claim that was made or that will be made in Maggie Haberman's book necessarily true? I don't know. Importantly, for the most part, it doesn't matter, as we talked about yesterday on the show, because most people won't care. They already know what they believe about Donald Trump. They're not going to drastically change that. Most of the things that he's alleged to have said don't rise to the level of crime, so it's not like it matters legally. And you are, of course, within your rights to not read the fucking book if you don't want to. But he had to put it out there. Here we go again. No, here we go again with you. Another fake book is out. Well, the books are real. I mean, you can literally hold it. It's not fake. It's a real thing. Anyway, he has no ability to just let it pass, even when it would be in his own interest to do so. Anyway, so I want to tell you about the watch list. I'm not seeing it up yet. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe there's some sort of technical problem. So in the meantime, allow me to run a little ad for you. Hold on. Cody says, I'm reading the book The Divider. I have to put it down occasionally to remind myself that it's not fiction because my brain keeps telling me that it can't be real. Another fake book, The Divider. Cody, self-appointed head case. Anyway, watch list starting up soon. Let me tell you, though, tomorrow I will be releasing on my Patreon, patreon.com/John Idarola, the epic conclusion to my sci-fi short story, The Grind. And I can tell you that we've got a number of other stories coming up in the next few months, podcasts as well, including with Emma Vigeland. I also want to let you know that I'm going to be starting off next year with, I believe, multi-part, not like novella, a short novel. It's going to be a sword and sorcery tale set in my world of animals, the Tales of Cloak and Claw. That's going to be coming up. Would love to have you aboard. We have an awesome, thriving Discord where we talk about games and movies and books and stories of all sorts. So we have a lot of fun there. So that is patreon.com/John Iderola. Lots of stories and podcasts waiting for you there right now. For now, though, that is Ravana. That is J.R. Jackson. They're on the watch list. They're watching all these lists, and you can watch it too at twitch.tv/TYT, youtube.com/watchlistTYT to join them. And in a little bit less than 1 hour, I'm going to be going live with the Friday edition of the Damage Report with Ben Glebe, throwing away the garbage people of the week. I hope to see you then. Hit the like button on the way out if you didn't already. I'll see you in a few.